Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Monday, November the 12th, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. Do you have IAS? You're probably wondering, what's IAS? It's Indicator Acquisition Syndrome. And that what that means is we've talked about this before, but you're always on the lookout for that next indicator, that better indicator. So now if you get this indicator, you'll be profitable. Now, if you have IAS, it's really not all your fault. I mean, it's, because there's so many people out there tempting you with new indicators. I mean, if you were a smoker and you were trying to give up smoking and everybody you're around's offering you cigarettes, showing you, hey, have you tried these? Oh man, it'd be tough. It'd really be tough. Or I guess if you were alcoholic or something and somebody's constantly offering you, hey, you want a beer? Hey, you want a shot? Hey, you want some tequila? Hey, you want some wine? Try this wine. This is really great wine. I mean, it'd be really tempting. And that's what the marketers know out there, that it's so easy to tempt you with indicators. I mean, the slope angle indicator guys, they are relentless. My inbox is filled with them. Then you've got the guys, the divergence guys out there trying to sell me their divergence indicators. And then these other guys with these can't lose strategies. But you just have to resist. What else can I say? Just resist. I mean, sure, I look at them. I mean, even, what was it, this year? I did the Rob Hoffman. I saw that system. It's like, well, if this guy's really, that great of a trader and he's won these contests, maybe there's something I can learn from him. So I programmed his or coded his method in the MT4. And you know what? It can pay off for a handful of pips. And like as I mentioned, I don't know, maybe once or twice, there's one guy who got the indicator from me, and he's applying it, I believe, to the daily and weekly charts, and he's very happy with the results. So, every now and then, I guess you find a truffle out there, or you find that needle in the haystack. But for the most part, if your charts look any different this year than they did last year, you might have indicator acquisition syndrome. If it's hard for you to actually see the price on your chart, you might have indicator acquisition syndrome. Let me think. Is there any more? Let's see. Oh, I don't know. But I think you get the point. So I'm not gonna, beat the dead horse. There's no point. You guys know whether or not you have indicator acquisition syndrome. Oh, I know. Here would be one. If you look in your file directory and the spacing between indicators is less than a month, you just might have indicator acquisition syndrome. By spacing, I mean if you look at the date that you loaded it on your system. So like if you loaded an indicator a week ago and before that you loaded another one a week before that, and then there was one you loaded about a week before that, yeah, I would say you have indicator acquisition syndrome. So I hope you have money and risk management syndrome, because if you have that, I believe you're on the right path. You're definitely strengthening one of the trading, I'll call it trading legs or trading pieces, one of the skills that you need to have mastered. And it's really simple. And I put this up, I believe, just about every trading video that I produce, because risk is the dollars or percent you're willing to lose per trade. And once you determine what your risk is, you can either determine your position size or your stop loss based on the risk. And as we see the monthly, the euro yen has pulled all the way back. So once again, these horizontal lines trading in the direction of the last cross has proved to be profitable. Because remember, Price went up, crossed over the midpoint, and then it came down and crossed the other way. So trading in the direction of that last cross was profitable. So if you start here, the month started off, it went down, then it crossed this line to the upside, crossed that line to the upside. Then here when it comes back down, it's telling you get out and then get in this way, and you see what happens. Then somebody could always argue, yeah, there could be a bunch of up and down, up and down. All you got to do is say, well, it crossed this line last. Which side of the line is it on? Well, it's on this side, so chances are it's going to continue that way. But, maybe not. Maybe it does reverse, and that's part of trading. You don't know. But, based on what you see, trading what you see, it just shows. And we can look here at the weekly. Okay, we started here. We went up, we crossed this line here out of the lower wick zone. We penetrated into the upper wick zone, but then we came out of the upper wick zone. So there was and these are weeklies. We came down and we're continuing down. Now we broke out of the lower wick zone. See, we're 70 pips to the good, 12 pips off that daily low. And have we filled any more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's what we had yesterday, last night's video. I don't remember. I don't keep that close a track. But we can just see if we start to have more fills here. Okay, on the daily, as expected, you can see here, price entered the lower wick zone, shot out. We're now 80 pips below the previous day's low. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ranges above 100. With the new beast, the pound yen, leading. The new beast, the pound New Zealand, leading the pack. The old beast, or just the beast, the pound yen at 150. But once again, simple. And I think if you go back, every now and then, if I've added something to the dashboard, I might post a new chart to show you something. But for the most part, this stuff stays the same. I mean, I wonder, I was watching a video about these people in prepping or living on the homestead, off grid, at whatever label you want to attach to it. And they were responding to some questions, and people were asking things like, how do you make money, and what's your budget, and all these different questions. And then they were telling them about what's going to happen, and it was very interesting to see how people react. And they have over 100,000 subscribers. I think I've got 2,000, maybe 3,000. I tell you the truth, I don't even check. But they were saying that they made YouTube a source of income. And for me, I just do it as a way to connect with traders. But the thing is, since I am not traditional, I go against the grain. There's many people out there that poo-poo me and don't want people to even know about me. They've slandered me, they've libeled me, say I'm a scam. It's just like, how am I scamming? The only thing I sell are drain the bank t-shirts, because just got a crazy idea one day to make drain the bank t-shirts, and I still have a few left. But for the most part, that wasn't, I never thought of this as an income, an income source. That wasn't my goal. It's just that I think I can communicate more with these videos than I can posting a chart and then typing in a bunch of stuff on a forum. I mean, some people might prefer the forum, but it's easier for me. And life, I've made life busy, getting into so many different things that I can shoot a 15-minute video in the morning, get it up, post it, and then you guys can see what I do, how I do it, and then you can ask questions. I can answer the questions, and just that's how I'm doing it right now. But it's just funny how doesn't matter, you go anywhere, you can see the interaction of people. And I guess I bring that up because I've been watching Robert Greene's interviews about his new book, The Laws of Human Nature. I got to get that book. But he was saying how, we all have envy that, if somebody else is, making more money trading than we do, rather than be happy for them, really somewhere deep down inside or maybe right on the surface, it's like we're mad. Well, how come they're so lucky? How come they get, and then we want to try and do that. So we can either be mad at them or we can use that emotion to propel us to become better traders ourselves. So, and then maybe we be competitive in the right way, and we can say, "Hey, I beat you today," or, but it's really all about you, your trade, your portfolio, and comparing yourself to others is only going to lead in frustration. Because so what if you made more money than somebody else, and somebody made more money than you? So, it just really is pointless and fruitless. But the buy zone, on the other hand, is definitely not fruitless, because you see here in yesterday's trade, I think we were around here, but now we had to put we crossed that weekly open. We got into the short zone. We got in there, your stop would have been on the other side of this line, so it really wasn't threatened. And you can see the profit that is possible. Okay, here. Now we're in the green rat zone. You can see here it's the 128.01 would be a long trigger. We're 15 pips off that daily low. We're coming up to the top of the hour, so it should be interesting what happens shortly. And as we showed yesterday, we took out the pivot. We're below weekly S1, almost down to weekly S2 right here. Almost. And we did take out that lower pivot, obviously, that we had missed. That was a missed pivot right here. So you see we took that pivot out, and now we've got two pivots above that need to be taken out. Price action. Okay, we've got a Larry live trade situation here. We've got a 3 ball at the bottom. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And if you put the cursor right here on the dates and you just hold down the left mouse button and you move it to the right, it makes it bigger. If you move it to the left, it makes it smaller. So that's how I do that, in case you didn't know that trick. But right here, 128.00, we've got a Larry live trade long situation. So we would be going long right there. Once again, horizontal lines, candle color at the line for profit. Wick zone. Once again, price doesn't like staying in the wick zone. In and out, in and out. We do this every day, and you see we're not really changing anything. We're just showing it, and I'm showing you the same pair every day, cutting down on the variables so we can exploit. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video that basically talks about whether we look for trades or whether we wait for trades. And here we had a short trigger on that Rob Hoffman inventory reduction bar. Or is it Ron? I keep forgetting. Hoffman inventory reduction bars. There was a short. You see here we've got a long trigger at 128.04, which would combine with that 128.00 and the 128.01. So you can see right here, if we break out of this area, it looks like price wants to go to the north side. Some people would call that confirmation. Once again, one of my favorite trading screens, price at the line, just move in the direction of the cross. And you can see here on the tick chart, we just went into a buying mode right here. And we see we've got a Larry live trade situation. Price hits here, we can go long, which is 127.96. But that's it, fellow traders, because remember, it doesn't matter how many indicators you have or if you have indicators at all, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So get out there and drain the banks.